Did he force himself on you?
I think so.
You think so, but you're not sure. Did you tell him to stop?
No.
Did you tell him no?
No.
Maybe you consented, then you changed your mind.
No, it's not like that.
It's 2012 and I'm dating a guy and I sleep in his bed and I just learned how to drive and he's older than me and he drinks whiskey neat and he's paying for everything. This adult thing, it's not cheap. We've been fighting a lot, almost 10 times a week, and he wants to have sex and I just want to sleep, but he says I can't say no to him. This much I owe to him. He buys my dinners, so I have to blow him. He's taken to forcing me down on my knees, and I'm confused because he's hurting me while he says please. And he's only a man, and these things he just needs. He's my boyfriend. So why am I filled with unease? It's 2018, and I've realized that nobody is safe long as she is alive. And every friend that I know has a story like mine. And the world tells...
Sure. So sexual violence is kind of a pretty comprehensive way to cover sexual misconduct. Sexual violence can be anything from, a pat on the back that's really uncomfortable, that's sexual harassment, which can be sexual violence, all the way to sexual assault, also known as rape, all the way to, penetrative rape. And that does not have to necessarily be between male and female. It can be male and male, female and female. But the spectrum of sexual violence includes those things. It also includes stalking, dating violence, domestic violence, because romantic or sexual relationships, when violence is involved, that's actually considered sexual violence as well. So sexual violence covers many different forms of any type of violence that could be sexual in nature.
Yeah, usually, like at night, if it's dark, just like anybody walking close to me is kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, so I think it's absolutely a different environment for sexual assault because you see your abuser everywhere. Even, regardless of how big the campus is, regardless if we have 3 campuses or 1 campus, no matter what, you're going to feel like you are trapped. You're going to feel like you are being followed by this person, even if they are like across town or anything like that. So I feel like when a sexual assault happens on campus, it kind of maximizes a lot of the fear that the victim feels just because they're in such close proximity to their abuser or to their attacker.
Sure. On college campuses in general, the reason why college campuses in general might see and do see maybe higher rates of sexual assaults across the country is because of it's multifaceted. One, high-risk drinking behaviors, high-risk drinking behaviors. I don't want to target specific groups, but there are certain groups on college campuses that have socials and parties, and that they kind of breed that culture of binge drinking and excessive drinking, and also perpetuate the idea that toxic masculinity perpetuates the idea that you have to go home with a girl at the end of the night. So that's one thing. Another reason why sexual violence on college campuses might be prevalent is because inadequate sex education in high schools or in middle school or at all, and that's including contraception, how to use a condom, those types of things. But then also there's little to no, anyway, in West Virginia, but other places as well, little to no sex education on consent at all. So when students get to college, a bunch of drugs and alcohol is involved, they've never had sex before, they don't know what that looks like, they don't know what a healthy relationship looks like, they don't know that, you know, waking up and not knowing what happened, but then realizing that you had an unconsensual encounter, they don't realize that that's assault, because maybe in their mind, also in a victim blaming culture, maybe in their mind they think that they deserve that, they did it to themselves, so they haven't had proper education on even rape culture, and what that looks like in victim blaming. So it's a multifaceted thing, but at the end of the day, it's mainly alcohol, you know, no proper consent education, and, you know, once students get to college and they're out of their parents' homes, you know, they're free to do whatever they want, and not having the proper education on these things really matters.
So since there's a stigma around fraternities in Greek life, do you have a problem when we're trying to recruit new people?
Yeah, that actually can be a pretty big issue, especially when talking to incoming freshmen. We have to go to several orientation events and speak to their families, and where we're co-ed, you know, if a father and the mother come up and they're worried about their daughter's safety if she rushes, and then I have to explain, you know, like, no, we're professional, we're out of the B&E, you know, like, we don't fall into some of the same traps that the social frats do. But so we do have to try to protect against our own members, like really make sure that they're going to be safe. And safety is important to everybody, but trying to convince families as well that, like, your child will be safe with us.
Really, but I do think that sexual positivity has made advances. I don't know if it's particularly affected how men attack women, but I do feel like it affects how women react to their abuse or to their attack. I feel like women are less blaming themselves for it and more so trying to make a difference about sexual assault. And I feel like a lot of women are kind of almost inspired by their attack to make sure that other women aren't put through the same abuse. So I feel like